both Bitcoin as well as Cronos have seen incredible growth last month. And the indicators are finally looking green as well. But can we continue buying our favorite tokens, or is it time to sell? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only Coin Baron, and first of all, congratulations. If you've been watching this series, probably guys, you are in the money right now. Just take a quick look here at Bitcoin, because we're very, very close to that 100,000 level for one Bitcoin. And honestly, if you've been a crypto believer for a long time, $100,000 has always been a pipe dream. But right now, we're making it a reality. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. And probably guys, you're in the money here as well. If not for Bitcoin, then probably for the CRO token. Because guys, that is really the series. If you're new to the channel, guys, do not forget to also subscribe and of course, hit the like button. But what we do here in this video is we check in every month if it's time to buy or time to sell. And right now, of course, we just, I think, switched from bear to bull to really the bull cycle, not only for Bitcoin, but also for altcoins. So it is time to get really strapped in and make sure you are, well, following the market, because it can flip very quickly, guys. We can go from buy to sell in a matter of hours in this crazy market. So let's take a look, guys, first at the Bitcoin chart, and then we move over to Cronos. For Bitcoin, we have to go 1 month back to explain this parabolic move, because in the previous video, we really focused on this part here. This was the previous resistance we had in this range. But what happened afterwards, guys, is we actually went back to the trend line. We had a retest, a beautiful retest, and then we started this upwards move of about, what is it, 50%, give or take. And guys, this is a almost $2 trillion market cap token, so this is nothing too shabby at all. Anyway, so from here on, the question, of course, is how high can we go? And it's really hard to answer that question, ladies and gentlemen. I'm personally more on the cautious side, and of course, no financial advice. But again, the technical target for this cup and handle pattern or the flag pattern both correspond to about 125,000 US dollars. At the pace that we're growing now, we could hit the target already near Christmas. But based on historic data of the previous Bitcoin cycles, I think we'll do for a cool down shortly. Just take a look here at the overlay I placed at the start of the previous bull cycle, so 2020. We can actually quite nicely overlay it here with the current trajectory of what Bitcoin is doing. And there, you can also see here, we went down about 20%. Let me show you what happened there. About 20% here for a cool down. And what I also like to show you guys is that that 20% cool down would nicely correspond with the CME futures for Bitcoin. So let's take a look here, Bitcoin futures CME. And what you can see on the CME chart is this gap here. And this gap, guys, is caused by CMEs only being traded on weekdays, just like stocks. And Bitcoin, of course, is available 24/7. But what you often see is that they try to fill the gap. So the stock traders, the future traders, they try to fill the gap. And you see, for example, here as well, we have a gap. We created a gap to the upside, but only a few days later, they try to fill the gap again by going to the downside. And this happens quite often with these CME future gaps. But we do not always fill the CME gap. For example, we have the famous gap at about 12K for Bitcoin, which we did not fill in the last bear cycle. But guys, I still think though, if you take a look, it's about at 80K. So if you have a 20% cool down, that will make, I think, so much sense to me. Just take a look here, guys. Let's say we slowly go down for a few days and then continue our upwards momentum. Would that be so crazy? I think not, personally. Overall, Bitcoin is looking very, very strong. We might see some downturn soon, but I think it will only be healthy to bring us to that 125,000 levels in the upcoming future. But what about Cronos? Because what is happening on that chart? Honestly, Cronos in the month of November had some amazing performance. It broke all my short-term resistance levels just in one swift go here. And even I had to go back to the previous cycle to look for, well, the next resistance lines, because honestly, it is quite a long go from here as well. So really, guys, it is back a bit to the 2021 vibe with the CRO token, because the next level of support here or resistance is at about 33, 34 cents. So, well, let's see how long it will take until we go to that next level. Moreover, for CRO, we do have the rainbow chart. But let me show you this clip of the previous month first. So what is also interesting to see about this chart is often that we find resistance lines and support lines. And I think this logarithmic line here might be another support line coming up as well. So even if we just trade sideways for a few more days, a few more weeks, guys, we will bump into this zone. And normally I would expect us to actually move up at least towards this zone here. It is a dotted line, but I also expect us to go even towards the blue band. We will check in next month again to see what actually happened. I think this will be quite a likely scenario. So, new month, new rainbow chart. So let's take a look at the chart. And well, I do think I deserve a small tap on the back because exactly what I mentioned here, we test this lock line for support, and after testing, we do jump up. And what you do see as well, we had a small test at this dotted line here, but within just 2 more days, we went up to the next level. And this, of course, was a crazy candle, but again, we retested here for more support. So guys, we are now in the blue zone. And you know what that means, right? So green was the best buying opportunity. We are no longer in the green, which means the best days are gone. But it does not mean for me personally that the days of buying are over. Actually, what I do think, you don't double down anymore into CRO. Those days are over. But let's say you double down here, then right now you do single buys for the CRO token. Once we go into the yellow territory though, the red, then we start thinking about selling as well. But for now, we are still, I think, in the buying zone, but no green anymore. Little fun fact as well, the borderline to go into the yellow territory corresponds again with the 34-35 cent level. So this might be quite a hard nut to crack, but we'll check in a month again. Anyways, as we have just seen, we're still in the buying zone for CRO. But what's the better buy? Is it Bitcoin or is it CRO? So therefore, guys, I want to take a look at the altcoin season index, and then we go to the CRO Bitcoin valuation. The altcoin season index has not really changed this month. So at value 33, it is still not altcoin season. But what we can see on the chart below is that we had a bit of ping pong here because there were some performers, tokens that did better than Bitcoin. For example, here we have Bitcoin going up 61%. But if you go to the left, we can also see you have tokens like CRO going up 113%, and ADA and SUI. So yes, I think, guys, we're getting very close to this flippening. Getting very close to this flippening because, again, it's ebb and flow here. Right now, we've been in this ebb territory for a long time. So it's time to flow into altcoin season. And also, if you take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, guys, we are again at a new all-time high, or yearly high, really, for Bitcoin dominance for this cycle. So I think we're getting close to the grand finale for Bitcoin dominance, so we can flow again into that altcoin season. On the CRO Bitcoin chart, it is very clear that Cronos outpaced Bitcoin in the month of November. But it was honestly very scary in this zone here. It really felt as a falling knife. And here, we got very close to such a low level that you had to pay 1 million CRO just to get 1 Bitcoin. So those were really dangerous targets. And I've been really adamant about it, guys, that once we'd cross this line again, I think CRO has found its strength again. And so it did. It really did, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're above this line. So I'm feeling more and more bullish about the CRO valuation also against Bitcoin. So what I personally did, I don't have a big stack of Bitcoin anymore. But at this point onward, I decided to convert it to CRO. I always do what I say. I do what I promise. So from this point onward, guys, I'm really a CRO maxi. I'm really a CRO maxi. And the question is really, how high can we get this cycle for the CRO Bitcoin valuation as well? Because if you go back to the previous valuation of CRO Bitcoin, that is an 8x from this point onward. So that will be very good for my Satoshi valuation as well. But let's wait and see. I'm really a Cronos maxi at this point. And it's going to be exciting. So to answer the question, am I buying Bitcoin? Am I buying Cronos? Of course, I am buying Cronos. Right now, guys, there is very little resistance, it seems. and the door is wide open to at least go to 34 cents for CRO. However, there is still some danger in the short term, because if Bitcoin drops again back to about 80k, you're sure that CRO also will drop, I think, towards the 12-cent level. But let's wait and see again, guys. Next month, I will be back with a new time to buy video. So do not forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit the like button, of course. Also, I do a weekly live stream on Sunday, and I also got a lot of interesting questions. So definitely check out the recording as well.